Because it's time for the Matt Wyatt Show. The guy who's the color commentator for Mississippi State football and SEC baseball. So yeah, he brings a lot to the game, and he's right here.
Right now.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
What up? I hope that wasn't too loud to start you off. Welcome into the show on Tuesday. I am broadcasting to you live from the road. We picked up the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, made it mobile. I got wires running around and equipment here and there with lights on and all this and a banner behind me that says Farm Bureau, but I'm smack dab in the middle of this palatial condo from Overstreet Properties in Starkville. What's up, everybody? Glad to be with you today from Starkville. JB is in Jackson. Doesn't matter, though. We're all connected. And most importantly, you're here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in, listening, however you're listening, wherever you're listening from. Hey to y'all. Feel free to comment and be a part of the show somehow, some way. I'd love to hear your voice. So y'all call me on the Davini phone, Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. 995-1059. That's the number, 601-995-1059. Text me on the Country Pleasin' text line, Country Pleasin' Sausage, on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. I had a little bit for breakfast this morning. Sure did. Take a wild guess what flavor.
Jalapeno and cheese.
Ding, 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 ding. Close enough. Jalapeno and cheddar. Yeah, buddy. This is the real deal. And so I had a little bit of that for breakfast. Yeah, y'all text me on the Country Pleasin' text line. It's 885-ESPN, 601 number, 885-ESPN. If you need the number itself, it's 885-3776. So text me who got the best deal, who got the short straw, who got a little favoritism in the schedule. I know y'all have been talking about that. Unfortunately, today as I got here in Starkville, I had some things to do. Right up until the start of the show, I did have time to swing through Chick-fil-A. I got some fruit. I got a soft drink here from Chick-fil-A. Yep, I did have time for that. But other than that, I was busy doing some other stuff here this morning, and so I didn't get to catch any of the gridiron outside of like the last minute of Chris and Beaver, what they were talking about. I did get to catch last night a little bit of Jake and Beaver on the drive, but that was before the league announced the full schedule. So last night I sat at the dinner table with my daughter. We were eating Mexican food that we had picked up. We were sitting there at the dinner table last night, my daughter and I. We watched the schedule reveal together on the SEC network. And so I got some thoughts and opinions on it. I know you do too. So y'all text me, 885-ESPN. That's a 601 number. And again, call me on the Davini phone, Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson, 995-1059. If you're watching on Facebook or on the live stream on Facebook or on YouTube or on Periscope, I got it pulled up here. I can see your comments and questions. So as long as we have a good, healthy wireless signal here, I'll be able to see what you're saying. Hey to Lynn on Facebook who says, Hail State. Same thing for Mark. Glad y'all are tuned in. Danny over in Ringgold, Georgia said, let's shock the world the first game. Why not? Hail State gets LSU right out of the gate. Richard watching on YouTube said Arkansas got the crap. Bama got the goods. Okay, so Richard right out of the gate says Bama gets a little favoritism on the schedule with how it plays out. Thinks Arkansas, along with the two non-divisional opponents that were added, got the short end of the stick. So we'll dive in and look at that for you here in just a sec. Right off the bat, too, on the Davini Equipment phone, on the Country Pleasin' text line, Jason says, I really miss Uncle Jack, Herm Edwards, and Denny Green, LOL. Yeah, listen, the old show open, I play it about twice a show, but today I did the same thing today that I did last week when I came down here to Starkville and did the show, and Neil Price joined us.
Yeah.
I left my iPad at home that has all my sound buttons on it.
Uh-oh.
So
if they give me clearance here within the next few weeks, I'll have some sound here. So in case that happens again, we'll have something.
Okay.
But you mentioned coming in that you didn't get a chance to hear much of the Brooks and the Beaver Gridiron show.
I missed it.
Yeah, well, this is what Chris said on the way out the door.
Okay.
All right? And
All
I
right.
quote, "You guys better have a good show because what just happened in here was epic."
Epic is, to me, is a word that in modern society is like the word amazing. It is grossly overused. Now, I'm not saying that their show wasn't epic, okay? I'm just saying the chances of it actually being epic are slim.
Yeah.
Just like everybody, I mean, for the last 10 years, every reality show contestant ever on any reality show on television, you know what he or she said after it was over? This really was an amazing experience. What is amazing about it? Look up the definition amazing. There's nothing that amazed anyone.
You sound like Simon,
Simon.
the guy that wrecked his motor.
Oh, yeah, Simon Cowell.
Yes.
I mean, your word. You know, they say use your words. Use your words with purpose and accurately. Don't tell me something is amazing if no one was amazed by it. Don't throw that out there. It's like I used to be terrible about this when I first started, and I may still be for all that, but I've tried my best to eliminate it, JB. But when I first started calling football games, whether it was radio or television, early on I had a tendency to use the word great way too much. Way too much.
So it was greatly overused.
Bingo, there's a pun. Where's my button when I need it? Yeah, I mean, I would do a game, and then I'd go back and watch. We'd have air check sessions, and we'd go back and watch, and it would be like, well, that was a great job on this, that. And that was a great play. You know, he did a great job on that block. That's a great tackle. Nothing is great, hardly in a ball game, let alone every play, Matt. And you know what? Now, if you watch, and he's young in his career, and he's very good, but Greg McElroy on ESPN, when he calls games, everything's great. Great here, great there. And somebody will talk him out of it eventually. That's what they do. But, you know.
Last night he looks like Ron Howard. Gosh, Paul.
Yeah. Did I say that? He looks a little bit like Opie. Yeah. I think he does a good job. He's got good thoughts and everything. But, you know, listen, man. Let me say, Roman Harper, I think a lot of him. He's from Prattville. Roman was a ball boy on my high school football team at Prattville. His dad, Ronald Harper, is one of our coaches, longtime coaches at Prattville High School. He was my basketball coach in high school, and he was our defensive backs coach for the football team for years and years at Prattville High School. So when I was playing in early mid-'90s in high school, Roman and his little brother were ball boys for the football team. And now Roman is a retired NFL superstar with a gray beard, and he's on the SEC.
He looks a lot older than he really is.
He always has. And he didn't get that from his dad. I don't know where he got that. It's just that's the way Roman's always been. But anyway, and I mean, he's smart, intelligent, great people. I'm sure McElroy's the same way, and everybody likes Dory Noka. But the people making the decisions, they aren't the ones. The broadcasters themselves aren't the ones making the decision, JB. Right. It's producers and other, you know, big brass. And it's, you know, a lot of the stuff that they give us on the SEC Network is totally lazy. And I hate to say it, but that show last night was really lazy. Now, maybe it was okay because we knew what we were there for. Everybody knew what we were there for. It's just give us a schedule. We don't need a whole lot of fluff. Just give us the schedule. And that's the way I was. But, you know, to go week to week and really not go fast pace every week and look at every ball game for every week.
Yeah.
And instead, they would just throw a graphic up on the screen, and you got these people connected via Zoom who, you know, one of them's not looking at the camera. The other one's got this big ugly shadow on the wall. Like they spent no time setting it up. Okay, I'm being very critical here. But then to go, well, here's the week one games, and what jumps out at you? And, you know, we talk about this game a little bit because it's, let's say it's Mississippi State and LSU. And then we're looking at week 4 and it's Alabama and Georgia. But you got these other games. We don't see a highlight. We don't talk about that game. We don't cover that game. We don't break that game down. And it's the SEC Network. It was just Very
I
lazy.
thought the same thing, but I thought, well, did they just get the schedule within the last 6 hours, or had they had it and been able to prepare some production?
Yeah, it production.
It didn't look like there was a whole bunch of pre-production for the show.
That's right. There was not a lot of pre-production for the show. That's just all there was to it. And that's okay. I mean, again, we're going to watch just to see the schedule. But, man, it was lazy. And even, think about this, JB. Even if you don't have a lot of pre-production, let's say they didn't have the schedule in their hands early enough to do a ton of pre-production on it. You can still have the whole thing outlined where, hey, look, we're going to come in and we're going to say hello, but we're going to spend literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and that's it on introductions. I'm Dari. This is Greg McElroy. This is Roman Harper, 2 former players. This, that, and the other. How are y'all? Good. Good to see you. Now, let's get into it. When we come back, we're going right away we're going to break down the week 1 games, and then we're coming back to week 2. Don't start the show and spend 10 minutes giggling at each other. 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was slow. I mean, it was just like a bad movie, kind of.
Well, I'm sitting there with my
after 6:30.
I'm sitting there with my chicken fajitas with corn tortillas, right?
Yeah.
And I've timed this out, so I'm going to start eating this at 6 o'clock so I can eat during the show. Well, I've eaten all my food basically before I even get to the week 2 games. All right, so hurry it up. That's one thing. But the other thing would be, if you're the SEC network, so every one of these teams that you're going to announce their schedule, it's a huge deal to every fan base. They're all watching it. Why not throw every fan base a bone and do this? Here are the week 2 games. All right, here's the schedule. Let's go down the list. The first one is, let me just, since I happen to have it in front of me, let's just pull it up. Let's look at the week 2 games. Here are the games for October the 3rd. Alabama is going to host Texas A&M. Is that right? Yeah, they're going to host Texas A&M in Tuscaloosa. Boom, for 1 minute. It's Alabama. It's Texas A&M, blah, blah, blah. Also, week 2, you got Mississippi State hosting Arkansas. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one in Arkansas. State's first home game. Boom, move on to the next one. Where you could, within 5 minutes, touch on every game you've just announced. There's only 7 of them. Instead of just throwing a graphic up there, and every time, what are we talking about? Alabama. Then the next week, we talk about Alabama.
Talk
and the
about
third
the Iron Bowl like it was the national championship.
They sure did. They sure did. Then the next week we're talking about Alabama and Georgia. And then the next week we're talking about Georgia. And the next week we're talking about Georgia. And the next week we're talking about Georgia. Yeah, it was lazy. But
we finally got the schedule back.
who am I to
finally got it.
Who am I to complain? Yeah, I mean, I just complained. And now I'm not going to complain anymore for the rest of the show. Let's see over here on the Country Pleasing text line. Y'all text me, 885-ESPN. Yesterday we had a slow start on the text line, and then by the end of the first hour, there were more texts than I could ever possibly read on one radio show. So, JB, I learned, don't ever let a slow start fool you. Hey, and also, I'm working off of one computer screen today, JB, so just shoot me a text if we get a caller, and if it looks like I'm making them hang on, you might just tell me because I want to make sure I don't miss it.
Yeah, I mean Brooks made somebody hang on for like 24 minutes today.
Well, I mean,
it's horrible.
It almost sounds like it's not Brooks' fault. I mean, after about 10 minutes, you hang up though, don't you? All right, White Denzel on the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage, grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. White Denzel says, Mississippi State, all things considered, got a favorable draw. Great chance to start 3-1 or 4-0. Really? Yeah, I don't know about that. Your week 1 game is at LSU for State. I got confused last night because I thought that they had shown me that Texas A&M game, week 4 for Mississippi State, was in Texas. And I'm going, wait a minute. So I got really confused, and I tweeted out the link to the song "I'm a Traveling Man," by Ricky. What's his name?
Ricky Nelson.
Ricky Nelson. I'm a traveling man because I'm thinking, wait a minute. You mean State's going to open the season at LSU, have one home game against Arkansas, and then go on the road to Kentucky and go on the road to A&M, and then have an open date before hosting Alabama? before going to Alabama and then hosting Vanderbilt, which is in November. I'm going, you're telling me that for the first 2 months of the year, State's got one home game? Well, I didn't even look at it right. So once you go back and realize that A&M game is a home game, you're right. It's not a terrible draw. If you're going to play LSU, when do you want to play them? Early. They get them week 1. If you're going to try to, host somebody that you can, have a pretty decent shot at maybe beating for your first home game, for the 15,000 fans you do have in there, but everybody watching on TV, who you want to host? Well, you want to host Vanderbilt or Arkansas. Well, you get Arkansas at home week 2. Week 3, you go to Kentucky, but then you come back and host Texas A&M, which, frankly, Starkville has been a hard place for A&M to come play. It's been a while since they won a game in there. You get an open date before having to go to Alabama at the end of October. After playing Alabama, you're going to be beat up and sore and have, be walking wounded. That's the way it is when you come out of Tuscaloosa. So what do? You come back home and host Vanderbilt. And it's back-to-back, Vanderbilt and Auburn. So, yeah, I know the Georgia-Ole Miss thing back-to-back. You're going to go to Georgia right before you play Ole Miss in that Egg Bowl. But all in all, and then, again, you're going to have to play a game after the Egg Bowl. It's going to be hard to get up for. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to host Missouri. In a lot of ways, it is favorable. I don't think there's any excuses whatsoever on the schedule. Ole Miss didn't get as easy or as good of a draw. They're going to open at home, but they open with Florida. And then it's off the road to hit the road in week 2, go to Kentucky, come back Alabama after that. And then you look at the end of the year, they're going to host State in the Egg Bowl, turn around and go to LSU right after playing the Egg Bowl. That'll be the first weekend in December. So good point on that, White Denzel. Thank you. Let's see, Maroon Stallion. Country Please and text line. What does he say? You mentioned Mexican food. How do you feel about the fact that Brooks said the only way he eats fajitas are meat only? What?
Yeah, they had a conversation about Mexican food. Brooks used to never eat Mexican food, and so he's finally found him a couple of dishes at a local restaurant that he seems to feel like makes him a Mexican connoisseur of food.
Look. They're not fajitas if it's meat only. If it's only got meat, it ain't fajitas. No onions, peppers, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, he says. Yeah. What is he, 4?
Well, he does love his macaroni and cheese.
What did they do, give him a juice cup with it? Come on, Brooks.
He orders off the kids' meal. It's cheaper.
Yeah, he goes out to Mexican. Can I have fajitas with meat only, and can I have a Capri Sun? For my drink.
That's kind of like one of my best friends growing up. He ate his cereal without milk, and he'd go get a hamburger with him at Wendy's or wherever, and he would get it plain.
Come on, man. Come on, Brooks. What do you want for dessert, Brooks? A popsicle? All right, Jason in Flagstaff. I'm super bored today. Bear me on the text. I've been murdering Chris and Beaver already. Being retired in the middle of COVID with your little critter buddy doing distance school is life-saving abyss. Thank God for the sports shows. I'd be pulling the 3 hairs I have left out of my head. Thanks for listening, Jason. Appreciate you. Louvier says the Saints are great and awesome and will have an amazing season culminating with a Super Bowl victory. It will be epic. If it happens, Louvier, if they win the Super Bowl in Drew Brees' final season, it will be epic, according to, I think, the definition of the word. There is no such thing as an epic radio show. They don't exist. Not at least according to the definition.
That would be an epic way to go out for Drew Brees.
Right, an epic way. And now we're talking about an adjective, right? We're using it as an adjective. Hogjowl says, you are a breath of fresh air. You two guys work very well together. Hashtag hardest schedule ever. All right. Remember what he said yesterday? Remember what Hogjowl said yesterday? He was going to tweet out something about the hardest schedule ever. It was a super long hashtag that I think and it was funny. What did Arkansas get? We know they got Florida and Georgia added, so they're going to open with Georgia at home, go to Starkville in week 2, go to Auburn in week 3, come back and host Ole Miss before an open date. Final weekend of October, they go to Texas A&M. In November for Arkansas, they'll host Tennessee, travel to Gainesville, host LSU, travel to Missouri, and finish the season on December the 5th hosting Alabama. Arkansas's schedule is tough. But that's life in the SEC West. You know, we're all playing tough home games. We're all playing tough road games. And I'll give it to you, some a little tougher than other. No doubt about it. Let's see there. Did I miss one? True Maroon said, some State fans are thinking about our offense only. Our defense is not going to be great at all. We are very young on defense. Yeah, State's going to have a hard time stopping people. They're very young on defense. You know, and all it takes, True Maroon, is an injury or two, and now you're really young, right, on the defensive side of the ball. State's going to have a hard time stopping people. But I think everybody is going to have their struggles on defense this year in the SEC and in any college football that gets played, because like Cole Kubelik said on this show yesterday, and I totally agree with him, coaches are not going to have the same type of physical practices during fall camp preseason that they normally do. Coaches are not going to have their players tackling each other as full speed like they normally do. Therefore, I think when the games do start, we're going to see poor tackling by defenses. We're going to see a lot of different players playing because guys are going to be tired. They're going to be banged up. They're not going to be used to it. Nobody had a spring training. Nobody had a normal offseason. Nobody had a normal camp. And offenses are going to have the advantage. And that's, you know, it's crazy talk for early season, but I think offenses, especially the ones who can throw the ball, who have the right plan and they really have the quarterback receiver thing ironed out by the time they hit the field in week one, the teams that are capable of throwing the ball, they're going to score a lot of points. We're going to have some high-scoring games. That's what I believe. All right, so on the text line, Bates and Bama and Wolf and Ernest and Tammy, Tammy's brother-in-law and Tiger and everybody. I'm coming to y'all's texts, and I'll hit you up over here on Facebook and YouTube. What are y'all talking about? We'll get to those coming up next. Just getting started. Stick around.
There's a lot of noise when it comes to 5G.
We're 5G ready.
We're 5G-ish.
At C-Spire, we're not playing their game. The fact is, 5G doesn't always mean 5G speeds. But thanks to our exclusive fiber technology and hundreds of millions invested in network updates, we can deliver 5G speeds right here, right now. Discover the difference at cspire.com/5G speeds. C-Spire, customer inspired. Details at cspire.com.
In an unnormal year, grab a taste of normal at the College Corner Store. With 2 locations to serve you in the metro, in Ridgeland on Highway 51 and Dogwood at Flowood. The College Corner Store has all the gear for the kids, the adult, and everyone in between. From game day shirts and hats to casual t-shirts. Let the College Corner help you find some normalcy for Hell State and Hottie Toddy fans and more. Check out the website at collegecornerstore.com or swing in today. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be normal in an unnormal year. Shop at the College Corner Store.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When I was born, I got lucky, a gift if you will. My early life was really hard for many reasons, but at the time, it really didn't seem all that hard. I had a close relationship with my brothers and sister and loads of friends. Those days of desperation and poverty led me to my job today, representing the people, not the powerful. But my job is really not a job because I never considered it work. In many ways, it's more like a public service. Now, as I age, I get to look back at all the cases and all the people and all the trials. And the best part is when I get to see you all out and about. When I pray before I sleep, I thank God for the gift I received at birth, the genuine love I have for people, all people. Maybe that's why my work never seemed like work to me. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services are greater than those of other law firms. Offices Jackson.
Mississippi's best sports book is Bet America. Located at Riverwalk Casino Hotel in Vicksburg and Harlow's Casino Resort and Spa in Greenville. You can place your wagers on easy-to-use touchscreen kiosks, bet totals, spreads, money lines, parlays, make live bets on games as they happen, and you will never miss a second of the action. Bet America Sportsbook, located at Riverwalk Casino Hotel in Vicksburg, Harlow's Casino Resort and Spa in Greenville. It's America's Sportsbook. Visit them online at betamerica.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Jake and Beeve here with the Afternoon Drive. Beeve, we're here for Mosquito Authority. I need you to drop some knowledge on me about mosquitoes since it is mosquito season.
Well, I just learned something new, that mosquito eggs don't freeze no matter how cold it gets. That means if you thought the mosquito eggs in your yard are dead from the winter, they're not, and it could still be a problem.
So we do need to call Mosquito Authority.
Yep, because the sooner you get started, the better.
No contracts, no commitments, no mosquitoes. We are Mosquito Authority.
Visit bugsbite.com.
Proudly endorsed by Jake and Beeve of the Afternoon Drive here on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Storm season is here. Having trouble finding professionals? Is your roof currently leaking? Wonder who to call? Think no longer. Why choose the rest when you could choose the best? Dependable, hardworking contractors. America's Best Roofing. 601-939-9991. MyRoofMyWay.com.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for $0 down and 0% APR for 48 months, or save $300 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson, or visit DaviniEquipment.com.
Are you ready? Yeah! Now back to the guy who loves his banana pudding. It's the Matt Wyatt Show.
Live in the studio.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
All right, rolling along with you here on a Tuesday, live from Starkville, Mississippi, Stark Vegas, at Overstreet Properties at overstreetproperties.com. You've listened here for the last few weeks, you'll know that Overstreet Properties, the presenting sponsor of the third hour of the show, the new third hour, as we've recently extended the radio show here and go all the way up until 3 o'clock, the start of the drive. That final hour, Overstreet Properties supports it, presents it to you every day. They're here in Starkville, so I'm hanging out here at one of their condos. Really, really nice place. That's the kitchen, by the way, if you're watching the live stream. The kitchen, different little angle, different. I just thought I'd sit at the table here this time as opposed to last time I was here. But look, if you're headed up this way, y'all need to get in touch with Kane Overstreet. Whether you're coming in town on weekends for ball games, maybe you're moving up here, it's investment property that you're looking at, or maybe just need an apartment to lease for a student or someone like that. Kane Overstreet, hit him up at Overstreet Properties and overstreetproperties.com.
You mean you're not sitting in the recliner?
No, I'm not in the recliner today.
Come on, man.
I'm at the kitchen table. Well, I was going to be eating during the show.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, people were asking on the live stream here, or Caleb asked me during the commercial break. He said, "What's that you're eating for lunch?" And it hit me that, JB, here I am chastising Chris Brooks for eating like a kid, and I realize I'm eating a fruit cup, fresh fruit from Chick-fil-A. Like, that's
I had a spicy chicken from there yesterday. I love those, but they're that strawberry and nut salad they do with the pieces of apple in it.
Yes, sir. It's good.
That's good.
Fact is, everything they have is good. That's just the way it is. Some stuff from the live stream. A lot of people on Facebook, YouTube, talking about it. Earlier on the YouTube live stream, Freddie said, when is State going to announce if and how many fans are going to be allowed to attend the home games? Freddie, I don't think it's a deal where it's necessarily up to Mississippi State. Now, we did, and you may have heard about it, the SEC sent out some stuff earlier today. I got it in an email that says, here's how SEC schools are going to handle certain things like, attendance, concessions, bathrooms, all that kind of stuff. I'll pull that email up here in a little bit. We'll take a look at it and see what's in there. But one of the things they talked about was attendance. It is going to be left up to the individual schools, but I think what that is all the individual schools are at the mercy of their state mandates. Like, if you look at the state of Texas, last I heard, from a Texas state governor, like from the governor's office, they were saying that Texas is probably going to allow people to have up to 50% capacity in their stadiums. Well, if they do that, you'll have 50,000 people at a Texas A&M game, right? If it's 25% in this state. So I think what we're waiting on, I think what State and Ole Miss and everybody's waiting on is Tate Reeves. And the basically what the state of Mississippi is going to allow places to do. That's my understanding. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all correct me. Here's what it said in that email. This came from Chuck Dunlap, one of the spokesmen for the Southeastern Conference. The announcement was SEC announces fan health and safety guidelines, and one of those is attendance. It said institutions shall determine the number of guests permitted to attend in accordance with applicable state and local guidelines, policies, and or regulations. In the absence of state and or local guidelines, policies, and or regulations, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, recommendations on physical distancing should be applied. So, I guess what that means is we're waiting on to hear, is Tate Reeves going to go, in Mississippi, you can, if you have a football stadium, you can fill it up to 25% capacity. Or if you don't get that, then if you've got a 60,000 seat stadium, you got to figure out, okay, well, if we put people in there a minimum of 6 feet apart with the space that we have and the seats that we have, we got to do the math. You're going to have to put the math to it, because it's not just general seating, it's also in the suites and in the skyboxes, whatever you want to call them, in those areas also. And you figure out, okay, well, this is how many we could put in there if we are adhering to the social distancing guidelines according to the CDC. It'd be a whole lot easier if your governor just said, look, y'all need to do 25% or y'all need to do 50%. And then you can do up to that if you can figure out a way to do it. That's what's in the email. Listen, on this Southeastern Conference fan health and safety guidelines, there's lots of different subtopics, okay? Attendance, face coverings, food and beverage, getting in and out of the gates, shuttles to and from parking areas, plans for disinfection of areas, premium seating, and it outlines all of that. Instead of going over all of it, if you're listening, you have a question about what's in there on any of those specific things, just shoot me that question or call me and ask me, and we'll just take a look at it. But it'd take an hour to read through all of it. Frankly, there's so much there.
One thing that draws me in that discussion, what would you say if there were no concessions? Wouldn't that be easier than trying to maintain some kind of cleanliness, atmosphere that doesn't, or that wouldn't be possibly toxic? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just do without concessions.
Just do without. Just go to the football game and be glad you got football. I know people were talking about tailgating a little bit earlier on Brooks' show, and there'll be no tailgating. Well, how do you do that? Well, maybe just be glad you got college football, I think one caller said. So
sure. Yeah, there may be some that do that. There may be some that go, look, we're not selling food. But you're going to have some way for people to hydrate. Yeah. Even though you're starting in late September, you're still going to have people get hot. They got to have access to water and all. And there's some stuff in there about every school is going to have ways for fans to purchase beverages or get beverages without having to have somebody hand it to them. Like they can just go up and
imagine if they tried to bring their own in.
Well, I know.
Not that that's ever happened before.
Can you imagine? Yeah. In fact, I can.
Yeah.
I'm sure the custodial staff can imagine, because they're the ones up there cleaning up hundreds of thousands of little airplane whiskey bottles, in the student section after every ball game.
No, Matt, that doesn't happen.
There's been a few instances where it wasn't the little bottles, it was the big ones, and it got thrown onto the field. Remember that in Oxford many, many years ago? Nancy on Facebook had a question. She said, do you think that there might be more injuries due to not being able to have the usual amount of strength training and or practices to highlight any physical weakness? And she said, there just seems to be an injury-filled preseason for the NFL so far. And, yeah, Nancy, I thought the same thing. I noticed some of these injuries, Gerald McCoy for the Cowboys and a few others, and you think, are these more? I will tell you that right now – there are always a lot of injuries in NFL preseason. I just think maybe we're a little more sensitive to it right now, but I want to see how it goes over the next couple of weeks, because if it does start to pile up more, because I could certainly see that being an issue. I mean, they have not had the normal strength and conditioning program, and that was a big part of our conversation, wasn't it, about can you have football? If you go back 2 months ago, I'm sitting here going, well, they're going to have at least, at the very minimum, 3 weeks of hard strength and conditioning training just to be ready to start practice. And then if you practice for a bare minimum of 3 weeks, and now we're 6 weeks before you can play. And so there's definitely something to all that. I don't know that maybe it's a little too early right now, Nancy, to say that there's more. But I'll say this, if they keep going, guys getting hurt at the rate at which they got hurt over the last 3 or 4 days, then we're really on to something. Caleb was telling us on Periscope, he says that Mississippi currently has a 25% capacity limit right now. He says it's Executive Order 1508, so 25% is what you'd go by. But BMAC was asking on YouTube a good question also. He said, what if the CDC guidelines are more strict than the state guidelines?
Matt, when you get a chance, we got a caller.
All right, who we got?
We got Rebel Red and Blue.
Rebel Red and Blue, you got about maybe 1 minute before the music starts, and so you feel free to go ahead if you want to.
Well, first of all, I figure to hydrate, you'll have all bottle drinks. No refillable cups and things like that, because you don't see those at service stations anymore. Now, beer sales, they were on tap, so
okay.
I guess they have to go to cans or bottles.
Well,
or not sell beer at all.
Or not sell it at all, yeah.
Also, Matt, for your, I want your opinion on something. Look at State and Ole Miss schedule. Every team, starts at 2-0 this year because the NCAA waiver that gives each team 2 equal wins over what would be sub-opponents, because you got a 10-game schedule. So it says you only have to win 4 of your conference games to actually theoretically be 6-6 and bowl eligible. So which teams do you think Ole Miss and State have to beat to get to 4 wins, or what's their easiest path?
Okay, but you're just to be clear, you're saying theoretically you need to get to 4 conference wins to be a bowl team? Is that what you're saying?
He's saying that they get 2 wins, like you go into the season 2-0.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you're only playing 10 games. So which 4 do you have the best chance to win? Yeah. I can tell you 3 of them. Well, I can tell you the 4 right now for State. Hands down, ain't close. It's Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Ole Miss. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 you got the best chance to win. And how many of those are home? Arkansas's at home, Vandy's at home, and Missouri's at home. Ole Miss is the only one of those on the road. Stick around.
There's a lot of noise when it comes to 5G.
We're 5G ready.
We're 5G-ish.
At C Spire, we're not playing their game. The fact is, 5G doesn't always mean 5G speeds. But thanks to our exclusive fiber technology and hundreds of millions invested in network updates, we can deliver 5G speeds right here, right now. Discover the difference at cspire.com/5G speeds. C Spire, customer inspired. Details at cspire.com.
With the weather warming up and time on your hands, there's nothing better to do than go play a round of golf at Live Oaks Golf Club on Highway 49 North. There's nothing better than a great round of golf at Live Oaks Golf Club and a cold beer on a hot afternoon. So head on over to Live Oaks Golf Club on Highway 49 North and schedule your tee time today. To book a tee time or to schedule a tour of their brand new event center, the Reed House at Live Oaks, just call 601-982-1231 or visit liveoaksgc.com.
Jake Mangum here. I got a lot of love from Mississippi in my time with MSU. Fans, friends, family, and teammates gave me more support than I could have hoped for. Farm Bureau Insurance was one of my supporters then, and they continue to take care of me day to day as my insurance provider. If you aren't already with Farm Bureau, it's time to join the team. Visit favrates.com for great rates on home and auto insurance, or find a local agent at msfbins.com. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
Hey, if your vehicle is ever damaged in a collision, please listen carefully. At Clinton Body Shop, we are OEM factory certified with more than 20 national and international manufacturers. In fact, we are Central Mississippi's only Volvo certified auto body repair shop, and we're the first BMW certified independent repair facility in the southern region. At our Richland, Mississippi location on Highway 49, we are Mississippi's only Subaru certified repair facility. Look, if some of the most prestigious automakers in the world certify Clinton Body Shop, shouldn't you choose them for your repair? After all, it's your car and your choice. Clinton Body Shop in Clinton and Richland. Certified by the company that made your car to repair your car with OEM factory parts. It's about your family's safety and your car's value. Go to ClintonBodyShop.com. That's ClintonBodyShop.com for more information.
Keeping farms running, construction moving, and towns maintained is essential. That's why Kubota is working to keep you working. Right now, get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Offer expires June 30th. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Kubota. Together, we do more.
Right now, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Now through June 30th. Cab available on select models. See us or go to KubotaDisclaimers.com. Divini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Who's ready for some football? Hey, if you love football, so does he. It's the Matt Wyatt Show. Nobody breaks down quarterback play better than him. And he's right here, right now, online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Our resident basketball fan, Dr. Brojo. I think you'll find this interesting.
Don't tell me that Gordon got 4 weeks.
No, this is nothing about that, I don't think.
Oh.
Who's Gordon?
Power forward for the shooting guard for the Celtics.
For the Celtics? Well, it's not about him, but this could potentially be about the Celtics, Mr. Celtics fan.
Yeah. I'm kind of a Celtics fan.
Kind of a Celtics? Okay.
Yeah, I was a Dr. J fan, so I can't really be a huge
fan. Yeah, I got you. You. If you don't already, you ought to follow John Pitts on Twitter. He is at John L. Pitts. He's the sports editor of the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. And he's always funny. But this is some good information. He's the one who tweeted it. Behind a paywall, ESPN's latest NBA mock draft, has Robert Woodard II going number 26 to Boston.
Nice.
And has his Mississippi State teammate Reggie Perry at number 49 to Philadelphia.
Oh, no.
How about that?
That'd be a great place for Perry to land with
Simmons.
Yeah, with Simmons and the big dude whose name just escaped my brain right there.
Yeah, well, how about a mock draft from ESPN though that has Robert Woodard going 23 spots ahead of Reggie Perry? I don't think anybody saw that coming, did they?
Dude has a lot of hops, man. That's one thing I noticed about him when he came out. He came out of Columbus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he came out that freshman year, I saw him play in person a couple times, and I thought, man, that guy had some mad hops.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Matt, you know what he had?
Yeah.
He had some amazing hops.
Amazing hops. I got you.
And I'm not talking about beer either.
We're not talking about those kind of hops. Right. Hey, JB, let's see. Bonnie on Facebook is saying that you, JB, speak so softly she can't hear you. It's weird because
I get up on this thing.
Well, it's one of those where, like, I know it's like one feed is going out to the air on the radio station, and it's a different feed that's actually coming back to me when you and I talk. And so it's just and I don't want to mess you up, but
no, man, I appreciate the anytime we can get better at our craft.
Yeah,
I'm always fond of good criticism.
Is it constructive criticism there a little bit?
There you go.
Okay, Steve on Facebook was asking about the tailgating stuff in this announcement. Let me hit those two things, and then, hey, all of y'all, I haven't forgotten Tiger, Maroon, Ernest, everybody. I'm coming to the text line, the country pleasing text line, 885-ESPN. We're going to make up some ground there, and I'm going to see what y'all been texting me here. Okay, so this SEC fan health and safety guidelines that they sent out this morning, all kinds of stuff in there, premium seating, everything. Here's what it said under tailgating. And let's see, who am I addressing here? This was on the live stream. Steve on Facebook asking about tailgating. Here's what it said, Steve. Institutions shall determine whether tailgating or other large gatherings of guests, example, alumni events, recruiting events, are permitted on property owned and or controlled by the institution in accordance with applicable state and local guidelines, policies, and or regulations. In the absence of state and or local guidelines, the CDC recommendations on physical distancing should be applied. Considerations should be given as to the time parking lots open. That was the second bullet point. So there's really only 2 bullet points under tailgating. And basically, it's like the same thing as number of fans in the stadium. Number 1, what does your local or state government say that they allow you to do? And number 2, what do the CDC recommendations on physical distancing say? And how do those two things compete? In other words, Steve, there's not going to be some mandate from the Southeastern Conference level that limits tailgating. That'll only be a decision made by either the state, local government, and or the university itself. Okay? The other thing that came up a minute ago was concessions. Here's what the SEC put out there today about concessions: food, beverage, and merchandise. There are 6 bullet points. Number 1, barriers, plexiglass, shall be installed at all points of sale, or otherwise all concession staff shall wear a face shield plus a mask. You know, realize there's a difference, right? You got a mask, then you got the clear face shield also. Queuing, number 2, queuing lines at points of sale shall permit physical distancing between guests. In other words, you're going to be standing in line, but you can't be crammed in there, and you're going to be told where to stand. Number 3, grab-and-go food and beverage options should be considered at points of sale locations. Grab-and-go. What does that mean? I'm not familiar with that. It's not going to be
it'd be like kind of like at the golf course I work at. We have short order, but it's not available when you order. It's pre-made, cooked, hamburgers, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, that kind of stuff. You just go by, pay for it, pick it up. It'll be in tinfoil or something like that.
Okay, wrapped up for you, prepackaged. Okay. Beverages shall be provided directly to guests. Machines designed to allow guests to fill or refill beverages must remain inoperable. You can't go up there and do it yourself. You can't go up to the fountain and just refill. Number 5, condiments shall be offered only as a single-serve condiment, and condiment carts shall be prohibited. You can't stick your hand down in the thing and pull out 5 packets of ketchup.
And they're not going to have salt and pepper available other than in packets of salt and pepper.
I guess that's it. And then final point on food and beverage. All portable points of sale locations shall be strategically placed to ensure physical distancing is permitted between guests who are in line and may be in close proximity to the selling location for other purposes. Like they're not going to put this is a pretty obvious one, like a bathroom where people are going in and out. But they're not going to put like a busy little barbecue stand in some stadium right next to a little Dippin' Dots ice cream stand, and everybody who's in line is standing within 3 feet of each other. They're not going to do that. Okay, so we kind of get it. If there's any more you want to know. Let me back up here. Let's go back on the Country Please and text line. Bates, let me apologize to you. I left my iPad at home, so I can't play the Coming to America by the Sonic Boom. I will do that tomorrow. He said in honor of the SEC football schedule being released last night, and the fact that it is game week for my son's team, crank up some Coming to America. We'll have to do that for you tomorrow, Bates. Sorry, man. Bama fan said, why does everyone whine about Alabama's schedule every year? It looks like to me everyone in the SEC has it tough this year, agree or not. Look, when I look at it, that's it. Everybody's playing 10 SEC games, okay? Therefore, everybody's schedule is tough, some more than others. People threw a fit when, and JB was one of them, when the SEC came in there and added Kentucky and Missouri, okay, to Alabama's schedule.
And who are the two of the 4 teams that you said Mississippi State would need to beat?
The ones that the 4 teams. Who is it? Let's see. It was Arkansas.
Yeah.
4 most winnable games for State: Arkansas at home, Vanderbilt at home, Missouri at home, and Ole Miss on the road.
Okay,
that was that.
I thought you had Kentucky in there too.
No, I didn't have Kentucky in there, and Kentucky's going to be better than people realize.
I misrepresented it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. You like Roger Clemens? You misremembered.
I did that
he not only misremembered, he made up a word. It's amazing. No, I mean, but see, Alabama, irregardless. Oh, I hate that one. Alabama already had Tennessee and Georgia on its schedule. Okay, Tennessee's a little better, right? 2 years ago, you want to play Tennessee. I'm not sure everybody wants to play Tennessee now. They're getting a little better under Jeremy Pruitt. Still got a little ways to go. But they already had Tennessee and Georgia on their schedule. Okay? They already had LSU on their schedule because they're in the West as a road game. They already have Texas A&M because they play in the West. So they come in there and they add Missouri and Kentucky to Alabama's schedule. Now, Kentucky's going to be a home game for Alabama. But Kentucky's no slouch either. It's not like they added Vanderbilt to Alabama's schedule. So I just think you're right. I would agree with you, Bama fan. This is a year, and it's because you're playing all these conference games. It's amazing to me, all these writers, all these media who are finally on board with the idea of the SEC playing 10 conference games, because now we get to see what it's going to look like if it'll happen. You know what I can tell? It's one of 2 things, y'all. One, I really like the stuff we're talking about. And 2, there's plenty to talk about. I can tell because we're an hour in and I'm still getting into reading all of your texts that have come in here in the first hour of the show. So we're going to have it. We got 2 more hours to go, and we got a lot to get to. Thanks to y'all. I really appreciate you texting and calling and tweeting and everything else. So hour 2 coming up live from Overstreet Properties in Starkville. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. Stick around.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down and 0% APR for 48 months, or save $300 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson, or visit DaviniEquipment.com.
Breaking bread and cooking out in the South is a way of life, and you want every one of those moments to mean something. That's why you need to visit our friends at Grills of Mississippi, located at 588 Highway 51 North in Ridgeland. The Grills of Mississippi Superstore has something for everyone. Jonathan and Tracy can get you ready to go whenever you decide to fire that grill up. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They got everything you need from your wood fire grills, Green Mountain grills, ceramic grills, pellets, rubs, and spices. Make sure to follow them on Facebook.com/Grills of Mississippi or call 601-790-7980. Also bookmark the website at grillsofms.com today.
You made a promise to your children, and Bank Plus is here to help you keep it. A promise to care, to teach, to provide and protect, and give every opportunity. You made a promise to help them fulfill theirs. And Bank Plus is here to help. Bank Plus. It's more than a name. It's a promise. Member FDIC.
Through multiple election cycles, football seasons, holidays, and birthdays, Ashley Smashley Howie has been the top real estate agent you trust in the metro area. Now, as we come through the trials of 2020 and get to the other side, let her help you find that dream home or upgrade you've been looking for. Need to sell your home to start over? She can do that too. First-time home buyers, she is the agent you can trust. Call 769-226-3782 or in the office at 601-939-5160 for more information. Also follow on Facebook.com/Ashley Howie Realtor. Get home today with Ashley Howie and Cry Like Realtors.
Rick's Pro Truck has opened up a new location in Gluckstadt. That's right, Rick's Pro Truck, RPT, now has a location in Madison County. Come see the new Rick's Pro Truck location, 238 Calhoun Station Parkway in Madison. Lift kits, spray and bed liners, and toolboxes at Rick's Pro Truck. Visit ricksprotruck.com today. RPT and Rick's Pro Truck has a new location in Madison County. Check them out in Gluckstadt today.
This portion of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Ameristar Casino in Vicksburg. Whether it's a day trip or a weekend stay, we are your clean, safe place to get out of the house and have some fun and relaxation. In July, play our $250,000 cash giveaway. Each Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, winners receive $1,000 in free slot play or cash. Sports are coming back, and it's time to start your wagers, and you can get in on all the action. Stay, play, and dine at Central Mississippi's premier gaming destination, Ameristar Casino Hotel. Gambling problem? Call 888-777-9696.
There's a lot of noise when it comes to 5G.
We're 5G ready.
We're 5G-ish.
At C-Spire, we're not playing their game. The fact is, 5G doesn't always mean 5G speeds. But thanks to our exclusive fiber technology and hundreds of millions invested in network updates, we can deliver 5G speeds right here, right now. Discover the difference at cspire.com/5G speeds. C-Spire, customer inspired. Details at cspire.com.
Wonder if you should get tested for colorectal cancer? Well, it's the second leading cancer killer in the U.S., and screening helps prevent it. So if you're 50 or older, it's time. Even if it doesn't run in your family. Most often, colorectal cancer occurs in people with no family history. And it doesn't always cause symptoms, especially early on. So don't wait for symptoms to get tested. Screening helps prevent the disease by finding precancerous polyps so they can be removed. Remove the polyp, prevent the cancer. Screening also helps find colorectal cancer early when treatment works best. You might be thinking, oh no, not that test. But here's the thing, you have options. There's more than one screening test. Talk to your doctor to find the one that's right for you. No more excuses. If you're over 50, get tested, because colorectal cancer screening really does save lives. A message from HHS and CDC's Screen for Life campaign.
A powerful threat calls for a greater response.
When there's a battle, bring strength.
When there's a problem, seek answers.
When there is doubt, give hope.
Not tomorrow.
Not in a few years.
But right now.
Some battles must be faced together. Cancer fighters stand up to cancer every day. And you can be part of this battle too.
Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
Together, we can save lives.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
WRKS Pickett's Jackson.
Time.
It's time to get back to the Matt Wyatt Show.
Live in the studio.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, let's go. Hour 2 just underway. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Available to you in all 82 counties across the great state. Hit them up at favrates.com. I'm in Starkville today, y'all. I'm here at the condo from Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Listen, if you're coming this way anytime, whether it's permanently or maybe for a weekend or just overnight, you need to holler at the folks at Overstreet Properties. It's Kane Overstreet. Y'all call him. I'm serious. If you're moving up here, permanent residence, investment property, need a condo, place to stay, ball game weekend, something like that. Maybe you just need to lease an apartment. You're a student or you know a student or you have a student coming this way. Overstreet Properties, the way to go. This place, by the way, here, let me just tell you, plush. It's nice. 2 king-size beds up there. Ooh, see that kitchen over there? Yeah, buddy. It's the real deal. That's Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties and overstreetproperties.com. All right. There's plenty to get to. Coming to your text. I got a text on the Country Pleasing text line, 885-ESPN. 885-ESPN. That's how you can text me. From Joe. That says, did the SEC issue any guidelines on the dispensing of, quote, other beverages from the lockers in the club level? If you know what I mean. Here's what it says. The SEC guidelines, they released it today. By the way, y'all can see all this. Go to their website, secsports.com. They announced fan health and safety guidelines. Okay, premium seating, suites, and clubs. There are 5 bullet points under that heading. Number 1, suite hopping shall be prohibited. If you're in a suite, stay in your suite. It is not sweet to go to someone else's suite. Spelled differently, different meanings, whatever. Number 2, sufficient signage that promotes and instructs suite holders to wear face coverings and maintain physical distancing shall be installed near ingress and entry points. Number 3, furniture shall be arranged in clubs to promote physical distancing. Number 4, each suite and club shall be supplied with sufficient hand washing and or hand sanitizing stations. And number 6, wait a minute, hold on, that was 4. This is number 5. And D, guests shall be permitted to access field level suites or clubs that are not within 6 feet of any team area. Additionally, institutions must ensure guests do not access a pathway to enter or exit a field-level suite or club. At the same time, a student, athlete, coach, team member, staff member, game official, or other game participant is utilizing the same pathway. In other words, those are the points about that. Premium seating. And, Joe, it doesn't say anything about beverages in premium seating areas. Not at least in the SEC guidelines, okay? Got it? Good. Wolf Fang, not Wolfgang, but Wolf Fang on the Country Pleasing text line, 885-ESPN. Says, many people are talking about the SEC needs a 10-game SEC season every year. If that happened, do you think the recruiting classes would get closer or further apart from the top and the bottom? Wolfang, so the assumption is that going from the current scheduling model to this 10-game conference schedule permanently in the SEC would have an effect on recruiting. Okay, that's the assumption. It would have an effect on recruiting. We have some other people over here who are watching on the live stream on YouTube. Freddie said, can we please keep a 10-game conference schedule going? Well, look, the thing about this is I don't know that I'm ready to jump in and just totally assume that it would have an effect on recruiting. I just don't. Look, what's the right way to say it? I'm having a hard time, can you tell? At this level, at the SEC level, in the SEC, who you play, I don't think factors in recruiting. Now, when you're talking about maybe a Conference USA school or a Sun Belt school, when Southern Miss over the years, they had Mississippi State home and away. They had Kentucky at home. They've scheduled Tennessee. They've scheduled LSU. Well, having those games on Southern Miss's schedule is a selling point. I think it can, in some cases does, have an effect on recruiting because of who you play. But at the SEC level, at the Big Ten level, at the ACC level, I don't think who you play, whether it's 8 conference games or 10 conference games, has an effect on recruiting. And so I can't assume it enough to kind of go down that road that if you stuck with a 10-game conference schedule, it would either widen the gap between the top teams and the bottom teams, or it would narrow that gap. I don't think it would have an effect. Ernest T. wanted me to stop talking about Brooks and talk football. I think we covered it for you, Ernest T. I think we did it. Earlier today, the text line, the name on the text line is Tammy Rose's disgruntled stepbrother. Can we please reference Chris Brooks as Juicebox Jones from now on? Thanks. Yeah, Chris, he orders his plain fajitas, meat only. It ain't a fajita if it's only meat, Brooks. And then he wants a juice box to drink with it. I think we made that last part up. And another Chris Brooks reference on the text line was True Maroon said, I agree with the other texter. You're a breath of fresh air after being trapped in a fart-filled elevator called the Chris Brooks Show.
No.
I'll tell you this, True Maroon. It's epic. Whatever it is, it's epic.
See my tweet.
Do what?
I said you should see the tweets that are going around with that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He said, let's see, somebody, I think it was Real C who got this thing started when he said, he tweeted and he tagged all of us so we have to see it. And he says, that dang Matt's dropping facts on Chris's claims to having epic shows as reported by Dr. Brojo JB. Yeah, let's see here. What did Chris say? He said, dang it, I missed it. Doesn't matter. Matt can't take today's 2 hours away from me. I was in the zone. Whole thing's a blur. Fantastic. If we can't laugh at ourselves, I mean, absolutely. Here's the sad thing about it. Like Chris, we have such a good time, and he does too, because he has a good sense of humor. He's willing to laugh at himself, and he didn't take anything too seriously. Neither do we. Our listeners don't, and so we all have a good time. Do you know this, JB? There are people in radio, in media, and in radio in particular. There are people in radio in Mississippi who simply cannot do this. They simply cannot laugh at themselves. They can't do it. This would be absolutely infuriating and would turn into something serious.
If you can't be self-deprecating, you can't be anything.
I agree. It starts right there. All right, text line. Beer Slayer says, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves says he will have a capacity plan in place for the September 3rd South Alabama Southern Miss game in the next week or so. Bring it on. Tell me. If they'll let me in there, I'm going. You hear that, Hattiesburg? If you will let me in the stadium on September the 3rd, I'm coming. I want to see it. If I can talk the homecoming queen into it. There's that part of it also. Country Pleasing Sausage, the best anywhere. CountryPleasing.com. You can order it right there, or just go by the Country Meat Packers plant and Butcher Shop right there on Highway 49 in Florence, Mississippi. You will not be disappointed. Country Pleasing text line 885-ESPN. Ghost Pepper said, see if Overstreet Properties will sponsor one segment each week of Chicken Hawk reading Shakespeare. He says, quote, what for yonder window done broke out. Ghost Pepper, that's a great idea, but, the problem is with Chicken Hawk is, you tell him it's going to we need 3 minutes. 30 minutes later, well, you get what I'm saying. Mississippi Tiger said, JB, look on the bright side. At least the Sixers will be home after the first round, of Celtics getting bounced in the second round. How about this? Mississippi Tiger jumping in here. Is that NBA smack talk? Man,
NBA, yeah.
I saw on The Athletic, and I subscribe to The Athletic, but I don't frequent it enough. They don't charge a lot, but I just never go there and click on it myself, and just, I never browse their website. For whatever reason. But I saw that they sent out a link today that shows how the NBA viewership, the ratings for NBA games, have just absolutely plummeted. Now, this year being different, it's pretty obvious there. But still, I think the article encompasses several years of trends. The headline at The Athletic, if you want to go read it, why the NBA has a serious viewership problem it needs to fix. And if you want to go read it, there's all kinds of numbers there. It does go back a couple of years. It said, here's one yet to be publicized stat to know. 45%. As in the league's ABC games, its premium broadcasts are down a whopping 45% off what the NBA was averaging in 2011 and 12. So if you look at that time frame, the better part of 10 seasons. So a 45% drop in 10 years. And people have been screaming at me for the last 2-3 years on the radio when the NBA comes up. Matt, why don't you talk more NBA? Matt, you're wrong. The NBA's better now. And okay, well, explain that to me. You can't. Fact is, those people got it wrong. They've got problems. It hasn't been as good a product. And the spread it out around the perimeter and whip it around and shoot threes it's fun when you turn on and watch a 6-game NBA final or 7 games or ever how many it is when it's Steph Curry in a finals. Then it gets interesting. But the rest of the time, it's not worth anybody's time. All right, Tammy Rose's disgruntled stepbrother, again on the text line, says, well, now you're Fruit Cup Jones, Fruit Cup and Juice Box, the tag team champions of sports talk. Look, you may be onto something. If Chris Brooks and I were to join up and become co-hosts, we could call it Fruit Cup and Juice Box. FC and JB. Why not?
There we go.
Strange.
We got a couple callers.
All right.
And we have one of them wants to defend himself. So we got Joey is up first.
Okay. Joey, thanks for calling. What's happening?
Hey, man, that's a cool idea with you and Chris Brooks, but it needs to be something that's maybe not complimentary, but also is kind of thing. Like the Fruit Cup and a Juice Box go together.
Yeah, I got
maybe
you.
Something that doesn't go together, but could.
Okay.
And maybe I should be Fire and Ice or something crazy like that.
I got you. Okay.
Fajitas with onions.
Because y'all would be great together. I would agree to that. I really think so. And I just had to say that, Cole Kubelik, maybe he was having an off day, but and maybe I took it a little personal, Matt. It might just be a little personal. But in 2010, those games that were getting squeezed out by the position at quarterback was not Dakota Prescott. It would have been Tyler Russell.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to go back and listen.
Yeah,
I know that he brought it up.
I mean, he was wrong on 2 or 3 things, and so maybe he's just having an off day. I don't know. When you remember that much stuff, things start running together. I get it. But I just had to correct it. And also, Matt, if you and I were playing golf and it was raining and the roughs were bad and et cetera, and we're playing on the same golf course, and I kept complaining about all that stuff, you would remind me, hey, Joey, we're playing on the same golf course. I'm beating you because I'm beating you.
Yeah, I see what
Not
you're saying.
because of some strange advantage that I have. It's
Yeah.
the same golf course.
Mm-hmm.
All of these NCAA teams, when it comes, if they do and when they get to play, are all having to follow by the same set of rules. So it should make it pretty equal, you know.
Yeah.
That's just my thinking on it. Alabama don't get to practice much either.
Hey, and look, this year we may see some things. This has the potential to be the least predictable season we've had in a very, very long time because even the big boys, you know, the Alabamas and the LSUs are not immune to, and I know that's really the right word, they're not immune to having a week where you had, let's just say, 3 starters on one side of the ball test positive, okay, and they've been in meeting rooms with all the first and second string guys. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to postpone the game, or are you going to play the game, and one of the big boys is going out and having their third string offense going to play the whole ball game? What I just described, it may be statistically a long shot, but given how quickly all this stuff ebbs and flows, that could happen. It's part of the.
I don't know how that's going to work, but you know why South Panola won 89 games in a row, Matt?
Why is that?
Because you were never going to outwork that group of kids.
Yeah.
That from both coaches, that was the hardest working group there was. And I think that's true of Alabama and maybe LSU and some others. And the fact that they're now, by rule, are not going to get to work as hard and outwork everybody else, that may actually play to the other team's hands. It may kind of level the field down versus up.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Joey. Good to hear from you. JB, who else is hanging on?
Well, we got the one and only Mr. Chicken Hawk.
Mr. Hawk. It's like we go out here and like we shine the bat signal up in the air, except instead of a bat, it's a hawk. And then he calls in. What's up, Chicken Hawk?
Hey, now, wait a minute now. Look at here. I'm finna tell you. I got now. Y'all didn't think I was listening. And I hadn't started listening. I just got on the doggone interstate. Now I've got my hand, I got my hand stuck in here like Napoleon in between my second and third button. Oh, Romeo, wherefore out thou my Romeo? I'm a Capulet and you a Capulet, and that just ain't gonna work, baby. So we gonna have to do something about this. Now see that? Y'all didn't think I'd do no doggone Shakespeare. And then I cut the radio on. You talking about Putin, and Dr. Brojo's talking about defecating, and I'm thinking,
no, we're not.
What in the world?
That was, I was merely reading a text that somebody sent in, and that's how they described Chris Brooks' show today, was a 2-hour fart-filled elevator. That's what they said.
Yeah.
I only read it.
But let me tell you something. If that thing the door was closed and he was in there by himself, you would have had to have something real powerful to stop it up there. So with all that gas, that thing would have took off like a space shuttle.
Hold on. I can't get past, you said you a Capulet and I'm a Capulet, and that just ain't gonna work, baby.
That's what it said. That's what it said. I went and seen it in the 9th grade. Hey, we went over to Jackson to the DeVille Cinema, which ain't there no more, and seen it in the 9th grade. But then we had to recite some of that junk too. But listen here, you always be trying to sidetrack me now. Doggone it. What's this deal about you don't think I can read? The man wanted me to do a spot for an advertisement for the man up there. And I'm thinking about calling the man, because me and Lou Bell has been wanting to move up somewhere around Starkville. You know that?
Yeah, let's see. What did he say? Hold on.
You said I talked too long or something. If you wrote it down there on a piece of paper for, like, word for, like...
Yeah. Okay, what he said, it was Ghost Pepper who texted in, and he said, see if Overstreet Properties will sponsor one segment each week of Chicken Hawk reading Shakespeare. So it wasn't to do an ad, but it was to read Shakespeare. It actually is a pretty good idea. It actually is a pretty darn good idea.
You can do that, or ask them if they want me to do a little spot for them and advertise, because like I'm finna say, before I so rudely interrupted, Lou Bell and me been wanting to find a place up there around Stark Vegas just for the football games. Now, last night, Lou Bell got fired up. We was watching Espen, SEC Now. She was right now. We was getting that close to the end thing, boy. We finna call somebody up there state. We done paid all this money we pay every year for the club and for the season tickets, and we ain't finna get no more games of this. But then they settled us down with 5, so that we can live with 5 home games. Now,
Okay.
a real quick question. I know you got to go, and I'm finna ask you now. Me pontificating and speculating and prophesying, I had to have it rolled down to do all this. I see us winning 5 games, and if we go 5-5, can we go to a bowl? Do you see us winning 5 games?
Okay. It's a matter of which 5 are they, and it could be the formula. Let me just put it this way. Yes, I see them winning 5 games. And it could be the formula of the 4 most winnable ones and an upset somewhere. The 4 most winnable games for State are Arkansas at home, Vanderbilt at home, Missouri at home, Ole Miss on the road. That'd be the 4 most winnable. See, but they're
what I had.
To get 5, what are they going to do then? Let's just say they won those 4. Are they going to beat Kentucky on the road? Are they going to upset Auburn at home? Because A&M.
Yeah, we're gonna kick Auburn's butt. That's what I got now.
Okay. Well, I would say that Auburn and Texas A&M. That's 2 teams that are coming to Starkville, and neither of them have had a whole lot of success in Starkville in recent years.
Now, ATM. Now I take it back. I think I had ATM down for it was either ATM or Auburn. I know I think you hear the music, but look at here. Answer the question. Do you think 5-5 gets you in the bowl game in this situation?
Yeah. If you're an SEC team, you win. You go 5-5. It means you played 10 games. You'll play in a postseason game somewhere. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Chicken Hawk. Chicken Hawk out. Y'all stick around.
There's a lot of noise when it comes to 5G.
We're 5G ready.
We're 5G-ish.
At C-Spire, we're not playing their game. The fact is, 5G doesn't
Hey, big
always
dog, can you hear
mean
me?
5G speeds. But thanks to our exclusive fiber technology and hundreds of millions invested in network updates, we can deliver 5G speeds
Hey, Matt,
right
can you hear
here,
me?
right now. Discover the difference at cspire.com/5G speeds. C-Spire, customer inspired. Details at cspire.com.
Shop Romantic Adventures. As long as you are into having fun, you gotta see it to believe it, and you'll be coming back for more. Come on, Shop Romantic
Hey, Matt, you there?
Adventures.
I'm Tammy at Romantic Adventures. We are here to enhance your romance.
This portion of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Ameristar Casino in Vicksburg. We are pleased to be back open and be your spot for the game, the meal, the laughs, and a good time. Bella's Restaurant and Heritage Diner are open for orders, so grab a bite. There's no need to play on an empty stomach. The NBA and Major League Baseball are ready to return, so it's time to get your bet on. Also, futures in college and NFL football are coming, so it's time to place those bets. It doesn't matter if it's a day trip or a weekend stay. We're your clean, safe place for top-notch entertainment. Stay, play, and dine at Central Mississippi's premier gaming destination, Ameristar Casino Hotel. Gambling problem? Call 888-777-9696.
Malone Roofing Shingle Division is proud to be your preferred GAF Master Lead contractor. And with their help, we at Malone protect what matters most. With the help of 3D home mapping software, phone or video conferencing, and electronic signature forms, Malone is able to provide a uniquely remote experience to meet the challenges of this ever-changing world. Schedule your free storm evaluation, even if you've initially been denied your claim, by filling out our contact form on ecmalone.com or by calling 1-833-7-MALONE.
Sometimes you need money in a hurry, and USA Pawn is there to loan cash for your personal items, like jewelry, computers, or almost anything. When you repay your loan, you'll get your item back. It's easy and safe. In business more than 25 years, USA Pawn is licensed and regulated. We're not your typical pawn shop. Get your quick cash loan today at USA Pawn. 3 locations in the Jackson area, plus Vicksburg, Pearl, and Canton. USA Pawn.
Keeping farms running, construction moving, and towns maintained is essential. That's why Kubota is working to keep you working. Right now, get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Offer expires June 30th. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Kubota. Together, we do more.
Right now, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Now through June 30th. Cab available on select models. See us or go to KubotaDisclaimers.com. Divini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
Using an overpriced trash bag?
Pricey, pricey, pricey!
A bag that breaks?
Whippy, whippy, whippy!
Or a smelly bag?
Stinky, stinky, stinky!
You gotta snag Hefty's Ultra Strong Trash Bag. Always at an ultra low price.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
It has Arm & Hammer odor control, so your nose and your wallet will be
Happy, happy, happy!
Hefty Ultra Strong Trash Bags. Hefty strong all day long.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Got grays? Then you've got to get your hands on the #1 root concealer in the world from L'Oreal. Magic Root Cover-Up Spray. In just 3, 2, 1, you're done. Sprays on easily, dries in a flash, washes out in one shampoo. Works on every hair color and every hair texture. Magic Root Cover-Up Spray. With 8 beautiful shades that blend right in, you'll see why it's #1. Magic Root Cover-Up Spray by L'Oreal Paris. Look for the turquoise can at your local retailer.
Come on, let's go!
Let's go! Go! With more of the Matt Wyatt Show. The guy who, if he's not talking sports, he's fishing for bass, okay? But he's right here, right now. Online at 1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
Back with you on the show. Let's flip real quick over here to the Divini Equipment phone line. Divini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer, the oldest Kubota dealer in the United States of America. That means Divini's been doing it better, longer than anyone else in the Kubota world. That's right. Divini Equipment phone line, 995-1059. So y'all call me. I'd love to hear your voice. 995-1059. Gator Greg joining us. What's up, Greg?
Mr. Wyatt, again, with the schedules, we sorry we just missed it by 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I kind of was wishful thinking, but I look at the Mississippi State schedule. The word I'd say I think is manageable. There's some I think you can pick off there. I think you guys could possibly go 6-4, maybe even 7-3. The way some of them fall, you got a tough stretch there with Auburn and Georgia, back to back.
Right.
It's going to be tough, but you got Ole Miss and Missouri ended up. I think 6-4 or 7-3 is possible. I can see that first game. Although I kind of thought about it, I thought maybe that could be your CBS game, but I kind of see that one being prime time on ESPN, the 6 o'clock ESPN game. Even though we're probably not going to have fans in Baton Rouge. So I think that's a good spot, and I guess you got to look at it if you want to catch a team like that early while they got some new players working in on defense and not getting to seeing Coach Lee's offense up front. I think the Gators' schedule, I would say the word is manageable. You got playing LSU in there and then getting a week before Georgia. You guys also get that week, I think, off before Alabama, so I think that helps. But I thought the league did about as good as they could. I just was going to ask you, do you think we're going to see something like this going forward, and maybe they changing the schedule model to something where you have your maybe your 3 permanent and then rotate so you can play people more? Because you won't play Missouri probably under this format or Florida say for 12 years. If we go back to what we were. Just want to get your thoughts on that, and I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, Greg. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I hope they stick with it. It's just what everybody wants. And the thing that I am not privy to is, the information and exact details of how playing non-conference games benefits you. The SEC must have an outlook on that maybe I don't understand. For them to have stuck with the 8-game conference schedule as long as they have, and the only reason we're playing 10 games here is because of the COVID-interrupted season and all the things with testing and being able to control things under your own umbrella without having to worry about what somebody else is doing in another conference. But for them to have stuck with 8 games as long as they have, and then 4 non-conference, and mandating that one of those non-conference has to be a Power 5, it means that people in the SEC, they want to see SEC versus other conferences every year. They want to see that. There's got to be a reason for it. Maybe that parlays into exposure in other parts of the country that you normally wouldn't get. Maybe it helps you college football playoff time. Maybe they started that because it helped you in the BCS formula and then just stuck with it. There's got to be a reason for it, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think now, Greg, and the unfortunate thing is I don't believe any of the SEC teams will play all 10 of their games. Everybody's going to have at least one game get postponed and ultimately canceled. However, they're scheduling this as best they can over this time frame without taking it too deep into December to give everybody an opportunity to, be able to push some things around. Move some games if they have to. Everybody has an open date in the middle of the season. Everybody's open date in the SEC falls between the last week of October and the first week of November. Everybody's open date in the SEC is either on October 24th, October 31st, or November 7th. And so it gives them some wiggle room there, and then you got wiggle room at the end of the year to add it in there, because the last regular season games for everybody are scheduled on December the 5th, and the championship game isn't until the 19th. So you got a week in there also. By the way, JB, did you see that's another thing that's kind of uncomfortable right here? I'm not sure we have an answer to. I didn't research it. I don't know if anybody else has talked about it and come down to the conclusion of what they're going to do. But with the reshuffling of the SEC schedule, it puts Missouri coming to Starkville on Saturday, December the 5th.
Right.
As it stands right now, the Mississippi High School Championships are scheduled for Starkville Davis Wade Stadium on Friday and Saturday, December 4th and 5th. So
I think they'll be able to work that schedule out as long as the SEC is not in charge of it.
Meaning what?
Meaning it would take forever for them to get it out.
Well, but I'm saying, how would they do that?
I think they'll move it. They'll move it to
Hattiesburg?
Southern Miss, yeah.
Yeah. Because, see, that's the thing. Ole Miss has no, actually, Oxford will be open. They just played in Oxford. Yeah. But according to this schedule, Ole Miss will be in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So they could just play it in Oxford this year if they wanted to.
Or M.M. Roberts. And I think they'll work all that out with the MHSA because nobody's really sure, if they're going to have the playoff games at the same time that they've been scheduled. So that's another, consideration to throw in the mix as well.
Yeah.
But I was somewhat disappointed in the fact that it's not the Egg Bowl is not the last game of the year, but I think they did their best they could to keep it on that particular weekend.
Yeah, I thought so. Here's the other thing too that I'm looking when I look at the schedule grid. We talk about the SEC doing the best job they could. There are not a ton of instances where teams are playing back-to-back road games. Now, it does happen in this schedule some. There's really no way to avoid it. But it's not that bad. And if I'm looking at this right, let's see. Whose schedule was I looking at? Was it Florida? That's what I was looking at. Florida's
at Ole Miss. Then they host South Carolina at A&M, host LSU.
Host Missouri.
Like they host Missouri.
Open date before Georgia.
Which is They say they're going to play it in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they say they are. Florida does not have back-to-back road games at any point in their schedule. Alabama does not have back-to-back road games ever in their schedule. Are there any others?
State goes back-to-back at Georgia, and then they travel to Oxford.
Ole Miss does not have any instances of back-to-back road games. Let's
Missouri
see.
plays at
Missouri
Tennessee on the
does.
3rd, and then they play at LSU the next week.
Okay, so that's it. So it's Alabama, it's Florida, and it's Ole Miss. Those are your 3 teams who do not have back-to-back road games at any point this year, according to the schedule. And everybody else, you only have one. Anybody who does have – there's nobody in the league who has back-to-back road games multiple times. They worked that out. So it's really not that bad. I feel like they did a pretty decent job all the way around. Ready Teddy on the Country Pleasing text line. This is going back a few minutes. He said, I think a 10-game SEC schedule hurts recruiting for some schools because under the current rules, you need 6 wins to go to a bowl, and it would hurt State, Ole Miss, and similar schools. There's some merit to that, I think, but I wonder how it would balance out, or if it would balance out. There would be so much more fan interest, ticket sales, and I think television revenue involved with a 10-game conference schedule as opposed to what you have right now. You're ready, Teddy. Okay, so we're talking bowl game, and that's important. But look at it this way. Somebody's still going to win those 6 games. Okay? And if we're going to play them, it might as well be us. And so if you're going to raise the stakes by raising the level of competition 2 more weeks out of the year, then somebody just raise your game a little bit. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing of we're getting to bowl, it's not, I keep stepping on myself. Look, there are 48 some odd, whatever it is, bowl games out there. It's not even really a big deal, a big notch in your gun anymore to just go to a bowl game. Right? State went to one and won a bowl game to keep its bowl streak alive a few years ago, and they were a 5-win team in a regular season. They got to go because they made good grades. Because there's so many bowls that are out there, they just have to have we'll take any team. We don't even need a winning team. We just need any team to play in our bowl game. So it's a bowl game, and yes, you get the practice time and all that. But in the land of big-time competition in athletics, I can't figure out the mindset of let's do things that are easier because doing things that are tougher are harder. I don't think that way. Let's raise the stakes and make it harder so that we got a chance to be better. Because I'm willing to do some things that other people aren't willing to do. Raise the stakes as high as you want to raise them. I think that's the way we ought to look at it. If we keep thinking the way we've always thought, we're just going to get what we've always got. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team.
There's a lot of noise when it comes to 5G.
We're 5G ready.
We're 5G-ish.
At C Spire, we're not playing their game. The fact is, 5G doesn't always mean 5G speeds. But thanks to our exclusive fiber technology and hundreds of millions invested in network updates, we can deliver 5G speeds right here, right now. Discover the difference at cspire.com/5G speeds. C Spire, customer inspired. Details at cspire.com.
Mississippi's best sports book is Bet America. Located at Riverwalk Casino Hotel in Vicksburg and Harlow's Casino Resort and Spa in Greenville. You can place your wagers on easy-to-use touchscreen kiosks, bet totals, spreads, money lines, parlays, make live bets on games as they happen, and you will never miss a second of the action. Bet America Sportsbook, located at Riverwalk Casino Hotel in Vicksburg, Harlow's Casino Resort and Spa in Greenville. It's America's Sportsbook. Visit them online at betamerica.com to learn more.
One of the great things about little boys and little girls is when they grow up, they want to be just like you. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. So to moms and dads, aunts and uncles, and grandparents everywhere, remember this. The next time you get in the car and don't buckle your seatbelt, a little boy is watching. And when you decide to text or dial and talk while driving, a little girl is watching your every move. And when you head down the road with a beer or cocktail in the car, that little person next to you is taking it all in. In this life, you have an awesome responsibility to those children who love you the most and want to be you in every way. So make a pledge today to be a good role model to these kids and their friends so that that little boy and that little girl get to grow up and be just like you. Morgan & Morgan, for our children.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services are greater than those of other law firms. Offices Jackson.
When you choose Clinton Body Shop to repair your vehicle, we won't try to give you a warm and fuzzy feeling saying your insurance company recommends us. The truth is that your insurance company may try to steer you away from us. We choose to repair your vehicle according to your vehicle maker's repair procedures, and we refuse to cut corners. Your safety matters, your family matters. Don't be steered to another shop. Choose Clinton Body Shop. We take pride in perfection. Seriously.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down and 0% APR for 48 months or save $300 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson, or visit DaviniEquipment.com.
This is Peter on his motorcycle.
Oh, the open road!
And this is Peter off his motorcycle.
Please move your paper off my desk. Thank you.
On his motorcycle.
I feel so alive!
Off his motorcycle.
I feel like we covered that already, so...
On.
Wow! Look at the ocean!
Off.
Look at this article I found about urban planning.
You're better on your bike. Progressive helps keep you on it. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's time for some straight talk. Some choices don't require a brain, like getting the new iPhone 11 with the ultra-wide camera. Do you want an expensive plan with a contract or an affordable plan with no contract? Like I said, a no-brainer. Why pay more for the same network? Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get a plan that's up to half the cost of big carriers, all on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
At this time, we are proudly required to present
more of the Matt Wyatt Show.
We have another totally awesome episode for you today.
And it's streaming right now online at thezone1059.com and on your radio on ESPN 105.9. The Zone. And go.
There we go. And the button hit. Back with you in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. I'm Matt. I'm live in Starkville today at a really, really nice 2-bedroom, fully furnished, a little bit of everything, nice big tall ceilings, hardwood floor condo. Compliments of Overstreet Properties here in Starkville. Look, if you're coming up here at any point in time, whether it's moving up here, man. So we're talking about a permanent residence, investment property. A condo like this, you're coming in for ball games, need a place to stay for the weekend or just for the night, or maybe you're leasing an apartment. Maybe you're a student, leasing an apartment. Make sure the first place you go about those kinds of things is Overstreet Properties. Look up Kane Overstreet and Overstreet Properties at overstreetproperties.com. All right, I'm going to get to your texts. First, though, hanging on the Davini Equipment phone line, Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson, is Ponto. Hey, Ponto, happy Tuesday to you. What's up?
Hey, Matt. God bless. Voice of wisdom, there won't be 40-something bowls. They're going to lose bowl games. I'd like to see 32 or 33. That would be my guess. Because some of them are going to cancel.
That's
no
right.
question.
Yeah.
However, you might go to a bowl at 4 and 6. There won't be enough teams to go around.
That's right. You're exactly right. There will be fewer bowls, but there's going to be even fewer teams, right, this year. And my understanding, Ponto, too, is that these bowl games, it's basically a relationship between the venue, the municipality where the venue is, the venue itself, and the sponsor. It's just a big, money grab, and TV really kind of fuels the whole thing. And so they're going to have those bowl games come what or high water. So they'll be happy to take a 4-win SEC team in there and let them play on December whatever and put it on ESPN. They don't care. You're right.
I hope so. Yes. It'll be an exciting season. And, I think probably we won't see the 8-4 setup. I'm thinking that they'll go 21 9-game SEC and 3 non-conference.
Yeah.
My guess. I hope so. Saban will get his way.
Yeah, and he's the one he started out pushing for a 9-game and then went to 10 because I think what he realized was he had people behind the scenes telling him, hey, look, they're not going to be able to figure out the rotation if you do 9. It's going to have to be 10. And I'm okay with it. I just think it's ridiculous that we could have something where we all assume we're in the same conference. That's the picture that's painted for us on the canvas. You're in the same conference, the Southeastern Conference. We're all members of this conference. We share the money. And yet Florida plays, Florida State every year, but plays Mississippi State once every 7 years. And goes to Starkville once every 12 years. It is absolutely laughable. They're not in the same conference. They can share the money all they want to, but they're not in the same conference, at least not competitively. So they need to do something about it.
I agree with you. Yes, you're correct. And all you got to do if you're Mississippi State to keep your bowl streak alive is beat Ole Miss and Kentucky every year. That's all you got to do.
Well, that's the way they have it. But I think I just – to me, in the spirit of competition, that's not healthy. That's just not healthy long term. So maybe it's healthy financially, and maybe that's why I'm on the radio and not making decisions. So I don't know.
Yeah, 2-6 SEC, you're in a bowl game. That's always a little got an asterisk by it, but that's what happens sometimes. 2-6, and you're in a bowl.
Yeah, 2-6 in your, quote unquote conference. Appreciate it, Ponto. Thanks for the call. Folks, I am not a business whiz. I am not a financial maven. I don't understand it. Never have. The Lord provides for me, and He always has. And that's just the way it is. Okay? The Lord provides for me. I mean it literally and figuratively and everything. Okay? I'm not out here figuring out how to make a buck. I can't figure it out. But may I give you an example? JB, may I give you an example?
Yeah, because I need to be more informed in that area as well.
Okay.
Or I'll be working till I die.
Let me give you an example. And for those who are watching the live stream right now, this is my favorite fast food place. It's Chick-fil-A, okay? And I'm holding it up. In my hand, JB, in my left hand, is a large soft drink from Chick-fil-A. In a large styrofoam cup. It is the largest
ice.
With ice, and it's the largest one. And Chick-fil-A has the wonderful ice like everybody likes. Yeah. They, unlike a lot of them, they don't do the whole thing where they fill the cup to the brim with ice so that they can put a minimum amount of, soda in there. Right? They give you a modest amount of ice. And they fill the cup with soda. And in my case, I ordered Diet Dr. Pepper from Chick-fil-A in this large soda. Do you know how much this costs on its own?
$1.99?
No, it's like $2.40-something cents.
Okay. Let's go with $2.49. That sounds good.
Okay. The reason I know that is because I've been using the curbside app for Chick-fil-A in my hometown of Tupelo, where I put the order in on my phone, pay for it on my phone, and just drive up there and park, and they bring it out to me. So that's how I know that this thing's well over $2. Okay? Styrofoam large drink. You think, man, I am getting a lot of drink. Well, I got this earlier today, and I drank all of it. it was empty 5 to 10 minutes ago. Empty, with a little bit of that crushed ice left in the bottom. So I went over to the refrigerator here at my condo from Overstreet Properties in Starkville, overstreetproperties.com. And I opened the refrigerator and I got out this. You hear this? This can, 12-ounce aluminum can of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Right.
And I thought, I'm going to pour this into my large cup.
Was the can cold?
Can was already cold.
Okay.
And I began pouring it into this cup. And I realized that one 12-ounce can fills up this large soft drink.
So you didn't get the biggest one you can get?
I got the biggest one I can get. JB, that's what I'm telling you. If you could see it on the live stream, you can see it's the biggest cup they'll give you. Just under $3 worth. But when you have a little bit of ice in it and you take a 12-ounce can of soda and you pour it in there, it fills it up.
Oh, you do have the biggest one.
You look at it.
Yeah.
And if I go to, there is a vending machine at my church,
right,
First Baptist Church of Tupelo, that still charges only, I think it's 60 cents, and it'll pop out a 12-ounce can for 60 cents. For 60 cents in a vending machine, the same amount of drink in this can as what fills up a nearly $3 large drink.
Well, I'll tell you this. We sell those size canned drinks at the golf course for $1. So.
Okay. Well, you're not gouging somebody then.
No.
And look, it's Chick-fil-A. I don't mind. The chicken's so good. I'm like, yeah, I get you $3, sure.
So you're having buyer's remorse after having many years of good vibes about that drink. Now you're going.
I have.
Y'all have swindled me for the last X amount of years.
Well, and see, I don't. The thing is, though, I don't necessarily feel swindled because everybody else is doing it. Right. But look, it just says to me, I'm. That's it, y'all. Look, Chick-fil-A, I'm telling you.
Well, look.
I love you, Chick-fil-A. I appreciate your kids standing out there in the parking lot in the heat. And, hey, the Chick-fil-A in Vicksburg, JB, have you ever been through that drive-thru?
I have, many, many times.
Those kids in the sun, they wear umbrellas. Have you seen it?
I have.
They have these cool
ones
little.
In Clinton do as well.
They do it in Clinton also?
Yeah. But look, man, those people have it mapped down to a science.
Oh, yeah.
If you let them run MDOT, we might be better off.
Oh, it's incredible.
Designed the Chick-fil-A stuff. But, there is one dude that we talk about frequently on the show, and I just felt his presence when you said that because whenever Roger would go to a fast food place, he would always order his drink with no ice.
Because
no ice.
He was on to him, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and all I'm saying is, look, when I went to Chick-fil-A a while ago, I was kind of in a hurry. I had, basically half an hour to get from there to here to be on the radio on time. And I was a little worried about it. From the moment I got in line with lots and lots of cars, from the moment I got in line to the moment they handed me my food was 6 total minutes. That's enough. They do a great job. I'm still going to go to Chick-fil-A. Y'all hear me? Chick-fil-A, I love you. I love your chicken. I'm coming. I'm going to come and get that yogurt. I'm happy to pay for it. And the fruit, y'all do a great job. Your people are nice. Have a nice day, that whole thing. I'm not buying any more soft drinks at your drive-thru, or anyone for that matter. This is where the profit is. You hear me?
Exactly. That's exactly where the profit is. That's where they make all their money, with the drinks.
That's where the profit is. I ain't doing it anymore.
Not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
All right. As we wrap up hour 2, let me give you a heads up. For those of you watching the live stream right now and have been since we started for the last 2 hours on Facebook and YouTube and on Periscope, thanks for joining us. I've got to turn the live stream off because I'm using my phone from C-Spire, and I've run the battery slap out. Like it's about to die any second. So I got to turn the stream off and charge my phone. We'll send you over to the audio live stream if you'll pick that up at thezone1059.com, or just open up the iHeart Radio app and punch in The Zone 1059 Jackson. You'll see it right there. You can listen live on your phone wherever you are. Hour 3, presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Coming up. Stick around.